football team ran 2 plays. On the first play, the quarterback was tackled for -8 yards. On the second play, the running back ran for 10.5 yards. On which play did the team gain more yards? I don't know the rules of football, so that's a problem. I guess we need to compare this value, 8.5 yards, to the absolute value of 8. So 8.5 is greater than the absolute value of 8. So in each case, the second play is the value of 10.5 is greater than the value of the absolute value of -8. Okay, so second play, we'll go with the second play. The distance in which play has a greater absolute value, the second play. Okay, Jen's mass changed -3 kilograms last month. Sarah's mass changed 2.5 kilograms last month. Okay, which person matches each description? Okay, lost more mass last month. Okay, so of course Jenna, she lost weight because her change was to the negative. So if 0 represents her initial weight and she lost 3 kilograms, she lost more mass last month. Who had the greater change in her mass? Jenna, because the distance of 3 from 0 is greater than the distance of 2.5 from the 0. So also Jenna. The table below shows the worth of each of Warren's 3 companies. Margie's Travel, -12.28, worth in millions of dollars. Okay, so here is in trouble because his company's worth is in negative terms, so it means the company has a debt of $12.28 million. Okay. Fifth Coffee, -6.91, and Northwind Traders, +1.72. Help Owen sort his companies from least to greatest absolute value of worth. Absolute value, okay. So Northwind is the least absolute value, 6.1 is next, so it's Fifth Coffee, and Margie's Travel is the greatest absolute value. Okay. Draw this on the board. Okay. We need to go to 12. So let's say each hash mark represents jumps of 2. So this is -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, and -12 is here. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, and 12. So -12 12.28 is a bit to the left of the negative, so this is negative 12.28, but the absolute value of 12.28 is here. The absolute value is the distance from the zero. Negative 12.28 absolute value is here. Okay. Fifth coffee, the absolute value is 6.91, which is about here. So negative 6.91 absolute value is here, and 1.72 is about here. Okay, so this is also the absolute value of 1.72, and we want to sort them according to the absolute value. So 1.72 is the north wind traders, 6.91 the absolute value is here. So this is the coffee, fifth coffee. And north wind and Maggie's travel is here. Henry is standing on a catamaran at an elevation of 10 feet relative to the sea level. His friend Thomas is scuba diving at an elevation of negative 12.5 feet relative to sea level. Which friend has greater elevation? Okay, so we are not talking about absolute value here. They want to know which friend has greater elevation. So of course that Henry, which is above the sea level, because he's standing at an elevation of 10 feet above sea level, and Thomas is beneath the sea level. So of course that Henry has a greater elevation. Which friend is farther from sea level? Okay, so if we draw a vertical, let's draw it in red, vertical line. Let's put the 0 here, so this is sea level. So let's say each hash mark represents 2. So this is 2, 4, 8, 4, 6, 8, and negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, negative 10, negative 12.5. Okay. So negative 12.5 is about here, and 10 is about here. So Henry is here, and Thomas is here. But now they want to know which friend is farther from sea level. So we want to know the absolute value of negative 12.5, which is the distance from the 0. So the distance of Thomas from the 0 is greater than the distance of Henry from the 0. The absolute value of negative 12.5 is about here. So So this is the absolute value of negative 12.5 because it's the distance of the number from the 0. So Thomas is farther from sea level compared to Henry. Good. So in the next video, I will do the quiz. This quiz number 3. Quiz number 3 is about absolute value and negative symbol as opposite.